Another episode of Watch the Climb. This one's a good one. I mean, they're all gonna be good, but this is one of those day one conversations, and I'm gonna be bringing in a slew of day ones, meaning heck, back in the day, 2018, camera, Smart NYC, the beginnings. So I had to bring out. This is, this it's hard to introduce, right? We got artists, content creator. Before the word content creation was even a thing. Nobody was really called content creators back then, and weren't really called influencers either. But I knew of him back in the day. Your boy Chrissy DHK, right? Did I say that right?
You said it right. You said it right.
Now to give a quick intro on this, I met Chrissy, and I always want to do when I do these day one conversations. Shout out to DWI. We just talked about off camera. We talked about Be Freaky. Shout out to Bernie, another camera guy, Respect the Shooter. I didn't know anybody at the time. I met DWI. He put me to work. Mariah Lynn joined, right? And I was the only one in a particular section. And I was in that section. Chrissy was in the section. I seen a dude with a real puffy, flamboyant jacket. I didn't know who he was. And then we talked about Jose, right, off camera real quick.
Yes.
I'm going to just give this quick intro, and I need to know what you've been doing. But I knew he was doing something. Now, here's a fun fact. I don't know if I've ever told you this, Chrissy. The guy, Jonathan, from Love and Hip Hop was there.
Yes.
And I had my camera, and I knew nobody. And I've been around a lot of Black Ink, Love and Hip Hop. I've been on, we just talked about the show.
Which one?
The Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club, yes.
I've been on set, not with the Breakfast Club, but in the building, on the floor.
Around it.
Yeah. So I've been Amari Hardwick, Dave East, there's a very, very long list of people that I've been around, elbow to elbow, Dapper Dan, So with this, I felt that there was something. This was earlier heck, so I didn't know. Then Jose goes, don't you know who this is?
Sounds like
right? Sounds like Jose, right?
Sounds like a typical Jose, yep.
And then he explained, the Scooby-Doo Papa video. And I was like, oh shit.
Yep. Definitely.
This is the Poppy, Are You Okay? Remember that? Sir. And that's Black Rose.
Black
Shout
Rose.
out to Rose.
I was going to say Black Rose. That's
I didn't even know that she was in that shit.
It's the crazy thing. I did not know half of these people were who they are.
They weren't anybody yet.
And it's the wild thing. I remember one thing before we get into the conversation. I got to shout out one person.
Please do. Get them flowers.
This person is a star, and that's Nueva York, Mr. Nueva York, with Papi, the Dominican guy.
Shit.
He sat there in the chair with me. It was like 10 a.m. and he told me, he's like, yo, Chrissy, I see you. I watch your videos, bro. And it's just like, I be wanting to push myself, and I would just be so in my head and so doing everything. Now that man is on tour everywhere, selling out the shows and literally doing stand-up and so confident, and he blew up and he created his own fan base. So you got to shout him out, because literally those are the type of people that remind me who I was and ask me for advice, and now look at them. They are flourishing. So shout out to Nova York.
I love the flowers that we must give, because we talked a lot about this off camera. You hit this in the 20s, in the 30s, and I'm on my way to 50.
Don't look it.
So appreciate that. So when we start to look at who we were, we go, oh shit, Nova York was there.
Yeah.
Right? One of the little dudes was there. Black Rose was there.
Rafizi, 43 Giant, Sexy Stays Face. Sexy Stays Face. She's hosting Summer Jam this year. So it's like, look at these people. Ken Stars, that was one of my inspirations. Ken Stars. He's still one of the GOATs. I always say that. He's one of the originals.
100%. And I love this convo, because I didn't know the magnitude of Scooby-Doo Papa. And I didn't understand that DJ Kaz was pulling in the influencers before that was like a spark yet.
And I was last minute. I literally, his manager, still speaks to his manager still to this day. Shout outs to Alex, the manager, DJ Cass NY's manager. And he literally was like, I want you to be in this whole thing, everything, your personality and everything. And now how things change, we'll get into it a little later, but I have to say this because I mentioned him. He is one of my inspirations with my weight loss, because he came from being plus size and now he looks like
Alex,
a muscular, like literally like
he's powerlifting.
He's powerlifting and everything. And he's always in my DMs and always inspiring me, like literally always uplifting me whenever I feel down. And he was saying, Chris, you came really far. And I fucks with that, and I respect him for that.
That's phenomenal. And part of this conversation, Chris, is the day ones and the people that were there. We talked about this again off camera. This is a constant conversation if you're building.
Yeah.
That you remember and you go, I'll give you one. I remember DJ Amadeus. He was one of the first people that was like, yo, pull up. And I was like, pull up the shade? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, but he was extremely open. And then when I looked him up, I'm like, oh, he's been here and he's worked with these people and he's still. Then I met him in person. I was like, yo, you doing too much. You really care about this hip hop shit.
Yeah.
And I think that resonated because he is still doing as much as he can for the artist.
Yeah.
So these day one convos, I mean, real shout out to a photographer in DC. Like, I'm watching him, he's watching me. We talked. I said, yo, I'm pulling up to DC. In my travels, we talked about
right, of course.
offline.
Yeah.
I went to DC and he was dumbfounded that I went to DC to see him. Mm-hmm. We just had Starbucks, one of his models canceled. And he was like, yo, let's just pull up the laptop. Let me show you how I edit, how I do this, what's my workflow. And I'm getting goosebumps because you don't know the impact that you will have on a person.
Big time,
right? Speaking of impact, I'm gonna go into this. You may or may not remember.
Okay.
So I seen Chrissy doing this thing, and I was like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing in hip hop. I don't know what I'm doing in photography, but I know that I see people that are doing their thing in the so-called arena of influencing.
Yep.
So I reached out to Chrissy, sent him a heartfelt email. I was like, you know, the word now is glazing, right? I'm not glazing, but I want to give credit where it's due. I see you making moves, you're doing this. And then Chrissy invited me to like BTS. We did a joint where you had a video release, right? It was like a club.
FaceTime Twerk video release party.
And small world, you ready? Mm-hmm. That was Sammy, wasn't it?
Sammy was there, yeah. Sammy was
Which
there.
is crazy to me because I met her through somebody else and I remember that day.
Shout out to DJ Sammy Blends.
Right?
Yeah.
So it goes back to the impact and the people and the way that you're able to navigate.
And the way that people can go from, like, I would say, like, going from, like, not falling off, but going downhill and then just rising up, because not to put any business, his business was very out there, but Sammy went through a hard time when she was actually arrested and she did some jail time, and then everybody was like forgetting about her, and nobody liked her. Now that girl is booked and busy. I be watching her. She's traveling. She's everywhere. And I'm just like, that's when God got you, when God has a reason for you, you got to go through it. And so give her flowers too.
I love this. And now, Chrissy, I just pulled up, my show notes, right, which I shared with you. And I didn't even have to look at them. I already went from the beginning where we met. Now we're transitioning to showbiz.
Yes.
And I love that you said the falling off.
Yeah.
Like it's not a fall off.
Highs and lows type thing.
It's a fucking obstacle course.
It is. It's like a roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster. And I want to say, a roller coaster, you're being too nice. Roller coaster, you know the shit is coming. You brace for it. But the shit is like fucking parkour. Like like obstacles. You're jumping over something, under something, right?
No, it's true.
So let's dial into one of the reasons why I was really pressing for today was it is still Mental Awareness Month. What mental being? Yeah. It's not men's mental wealth, but it's still like the overall. The other thing is Pride Month is coming up.
Yes, it is.
2 or 3, you got momentum, man. I gotta show, and I gotta give flowers to the course and how important it is to be able to the highs and lows and say, it's my turn.
It is.
Right? And that's what I'm seeing now. And I'm like, man, I gotta hit Chris now and make sure that I'm able to get him. Not when the shit is good, because I would have been, but I want to keep the momentum for you. I want to make sure that we go and we push and we align with good energy, good vibes.
Of course, it's all about good vibes, positive vibes only.
So tell me a little bit more about the roller coaster. Tell me what it's been for you, and we can get into some specifics.
So to sum it up, where it all began, I would say the start was in like 2010 was where I actually started off as a diehard Nicki Minaj fan, and basically supporting her, going to all of her shows, and finally eventually I spoke to her on Ustream, and then she set up for me to meet her at Regis and Kelly, and then we created a unconditional bond. And back then it was no social media at that time, so it was more like it was YouTube, it was World Star Hip Hop, and then I remember she started promoting my funny content videos, which were just Nicki Minaj related. And after that, World Star Hip Hop picked up one of them, and then people started to put in my high school, people started to put in where I live and all my information. And you know, like I said, things happen. We got into a rough patch, you know, not gonna get into details on that because I still love and support her. But I eventually said, you know what, hey, maybe I could still start doing these videos regularly and just not make it about one person. So at that point, I can admit it, I'm a real ass dude. At the same time, I was clout chasing. So I was like, you know, I knew I was very strategic. I knew how to get followers. I knew how to work the system. So I knew like, hey, if I tattoo this person's name, hey, if I go and I buy this book, hey, if I go and I do this, I know I'm gonna get followers. And honestly, it worked. And I had the rise of it. I was working at AMC movie theater, and literally like one time my phone was going ding, 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 and it was Cardi B posted me, and then Amber Rose posted me, then the Shade Room posted me before the Shade Room even had 1 million followers or even had a blue check. And then ever since then, it just skyrocketed. And then, you know, I started to get bookings. I did America's Got Talent. I was on Adult Swim on Cartoon Network. I did TRL. I did a lot of things. I opened up for Amber Rose 3 years in a row for her Slut Walk. And, you know, and then I got the call that they wanted me to be on Love and Hip Hop season 9. And that's when everything went downhill. Everything went downhill to the point where I felt like instead of me being my authentic self, I tried to be a gimmick, try to do things to try to fit in with that program. And, you know, maybe I even blocked my own blessings by downplaying other people. It was a lot of things. So ever since then, I was just in my head. I was on and off. I was struggling financially. And then, you know, I went down a dark rabbit hole, and it was just became like a clout chasing type thing. Like I was using my armpits as a funny thing. I was using my stomach, using my weight, using all these things just for clickbait, just for likes, just for views, just for comments, knowing damn well behind the scenes I'm struggling. I'm going through it. I'm literally depressed. I'm angry. I'm broke. I'm doing all these things. So it's like, what are you doing this for? And then half of the times I'm thinking that these relationships with these celebrities are organic and they're real. And then 9 out of 10, they only fuck with you if you're dick riding them. And the moment that you go and you start to try to pour into you and try to invest in yourself, no one gives a fuck. So I started to say, okay, something got to change.
Now that was shout out to you, because I remember the nighttime conversations.
Yeah,
like
big time.
The lives. Like I remember, you know, part of those trials and tribulations of you finding yourself, a lot of it was dark, right?
It was messy. It was very messy. Those, like, one thing about me now, I don't even enjoy going on lives. I don't even enjoy trying to do the type of interaction, because that's what they expect and that's what they like, and they don't want you to grow. They don't want you to prosper or elevate. And with me, I look back on it. That's one part of my thing that I feel like I had to go through, but I really live with regret, because it was not just because I have tough skin and I know how to deal with this, and I've been around this game and this industry, and I know the ins and outs of these things. Other people, you know, were taken, and, you know, they could not have that tough skin. They could be struggling with other type of issues, and I just didn't care. I was doing it because I want to be funny. I want to be lit. I want to be top live and do all these things. And now I look back like, yeah, that was kind of cringy. Like,
so, but I'm really, yeah, I remember, you know, we're talking, correct me if I'm wrong, we're talking a little before we met and then a little after.
Yeah. Right? All it was like a little bit before COVID.
Before COVID.
Where it was all very messy, very dark, and very, I would say, very immature. Very, very immature. I would say very immature.
Well, you were playing the game.
I was playing the game. Like I was getting money. I was doing what I had to do, but it was just also like, it's something I'm not proud of, because when you look back and you look at that point, yeah, it got me to where I am today, but it's also like, it's not something that I'm really like, I can say, hey, I'm proud of that. No, I'm not. Literally, I'm not, because at the end of the day, it was very negative. People understand negativity is the easiest thing that you can stay stuck in. But if you literally are pouring into that negativity, you're going to keep on surrounding around negativity, and that's all that's going to follow you. So unless you want to make that change, what you said, watch that climb, right? Watch that climb. You got to watch that climb and get the hell out of it, because baby, negativity will consume you.
I appreciate you saying that. I didn't say it in the beginning of the show, and it was hard for me. This has its own meaning behind. I got, I'll lay a little bit out. I haven't really said too much of this during in the very beginning. Like Smile IYC started on a preparation for depression.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I said this twice on camera, and I don't think I've said it this way. So somebody asked me about Smile IYC, like what did it mean, right? So I shut down my martial arts school. I had it for 6 years. I was doing martial arts for about 12 years. I had my own studio for 6 years. 3 financially, I was hurt. I went from one dojo to another, 5,500 square feet, 2 bathrooms, locker rooms. It was an amazing facility. I was borderline insane to think that I could take on that much. And I did it. Then I had another facility. Fast forwarding, I couldn't sustain it. I was teaching, marketing, doing everything. I heard YouTube something, I don't remember, that photography has helped vets. Yeah. With depression, with anxiety, because it's a process. So it's a creative process, and creative processes have linear thinking. So like for you, we had a little bit of a breakdown when we scheduled. Yeah. And I was like, I'm gonna let you be, because I understand that when things don't work out the way you are as a talent, you gotta just hit the brakes.
Or it won't come out the way you want it to be. And I feel like perception is everything. And with people, if they don't see the best version of you, they're gonna go with that type of outlook of you, and that's gonna be what they're gonna run off with assumption. Especially with me personally, right now, everybody has this certain type of version of me, and they don't want to see a new version of me. And that's okay, because that's something that I created with being a presence on social media. But am I going to let that define me? Hell no. I'm going to keep on doing it. Eventually you're going to catch on.
Version of you. I'm so happy that you said that, because I'm also not debating. I haven't fully absorbed this new version of me, or accepted this new version of me. This new version of me, we talked about it earlier off camera. I don't want to do photography right now, right? So this new version of me says, focus on podcasting, focus on developing other people's stories, focus on traveling. Like that's my vice, my drug. That's my everything right now. If my bills are paid, I'm fuck it, book it, right? FIBO.
Oh yeah, for real.
I'm out. So this new version of you, are you okay with the, I just hit the music, which is actually good, right? Like,
right, it's good. It's switch up the vibe.
And actually, it's funny that this came up now. Let me just throw this in there. This is the first time that I'm doing this type of production. Solo, I'm running the clicking, I'm running everything. And that song, I thought it was Nas. I fucked up, right? But you defended me. You were like, same era, it's all good.
Same era is fine.
So what it means to me is 24 hours. Like, what would you do? And I don't know when my expiration date is coming. I have friends.
Yeah, we all don't know. Life is so short and so precious.
Life is short. I know people that have heart attacks. I know people that are younger than me that have passed through COVID. Yeah. I know people that are dealing with their dark all the time. Yeah. So I don't want to use the YOLO, but I also want to say, I'm doing me.
You have to do you. At the end of the day, you have to put you first.
With you, Chrissy, just going back, when I started this Watch the Climb, I didn't even know what I was going to do in IG. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, you're just going to watch me, I guess, right? Because you're on the stories watching.
Yeah, you're on the stories watching. So at the end of the day, people eventually, I would say, if people, they're eventually going to catch on. That's how you got to look at it. They'll eventually catch on and they'll see what your purpose is. And here's the problem. Here's the difference with a lot of people when it comes to social media. When you are being your authentic self and walking and living in your truth, you don't have to seek validation or approval from anybody. So at the end of the day, that's really where I'm at. And it's the most healthiest, organic place a person can ever be in, where I literally do not give a fuck no more. And it's like, whether you like me, whether you hate me, whether you judge me, whether you live in the past, it doesn't matter. You're not paying my bills. You're not fucking me. You're not financing me. You're not putting a roof on my head, clothes on my back, food in my stomach. Does not matter.
So that's a real great take on this with the mental health, right? This is your most authentic self.
Yeah.
And this is soon to be, I think it's a process, your happiest self, right? I think you're still working on that.
I came from a very dark place. So it was like, getting out of that and just seeing like, I became like very introverted. I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want to talk to people. It was the times when people would stop me and say, hey, that's Chrissy. I would lie, say, hey, my name is Jonathan. My twin brother is Chrissy. Because I didn't even want to interact with nobody because I was such in a dark place. And, now I'm just like, damn, I was missing out on life so much. Like, I want to be everywhere. Like, I want to have fun. I want to turn up. I want to smile. And even when negativity tries to come around, like you said before, when we scheduled to do this, I literally went through like a very bad mental breakdown. And prior to that, I was judging a very close friend of mine who had that, not understanding how could you ghost somebody? How could you just act like, they don't exist and everything? And they're telling me to my face, like, hey, I have no control over this. I don't know why this is happening. I don't know why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. And then come to find out 2 weeks later, I experienced it where it was just like uncontrollable to the point where I just dropped to my knees, cried and prayed to God, like, get me out of this. And then, being surrounded by positive people and positive things also can help a lot to people to remind you who the fuck you are. Like, hey, you're Chrissy, you're this person, you're that bitch, you're that girl. Like, don't let anything has to say. Don't let how hard life may be, struggles may be, whatever it is, you can get out of it. And it just was a real good testimony for me to be like, wake up call. Like, if I didn't go through that mental breakdown, I probably would have been blindsided by what could possibly happen. And, life is going to be hard. Nothing is perfect. No one is perfect. So you got to push the fuck through.
No one. And I really appreciate, and I know many do, of your, older fans, and not in age, but they've been around for a bit. Yeah. Your full transparency, how you've been in dark areas and you've let people know in your own way. And, coming out of, like, let's say just the mindset, what can you take away? What can you tell your younger self or your dark self to say, hey, if you knew this skill set when it comes to dealing with, so you can influence others, right? A lot of the times we throw those words out loosely. An influencer should be able to influence you.
Of course, that's what the influence is about.
Right. So initially, it was about influencing the way money is spent. That's the way we saw it. But we already had the word influencer in sports. Right, sports has look what's happening with the Knicks now. Sports has an enormous influence on people. That's church to some people. The other one is fashion. Right, we see somebody put something on, whether they're from your borough, your city, your state, your hood, whatever it is, they're going to influence your buying power. Right, so now you're in a position to be an advocate for health. Right.
Yes.
So let's dive in and let's talk about your surgery, your new self. I don't want to say it first because I just heard of it. The weight loss, right? Like, I'm seeing a complete different person. Yes. Now I'm like, I'm fucking jealous. I'm like, motherfucker, get on your shit. So tell me about that.
So prior to, like, social media took a big toll on me at one time where it's like, I really feel like I fell off and wasn't, myself. And, in order for you to cater to other people, to make people smile, make people happy, give people confidence, give people inspiration, or be a beacon of hope, voice of the voiceless, you have to be happy within yourself. And I generally wasn't. So I was overeating. I was literally emotionally eating to the point where I would order, say for instance, Chinese food. It'll be, my go-to was chicken and broccoli, side order chicken wings, boneless spare rib tips, egg roll, French fries, all for one setting. That's not even the snacks.
You said side order. That's a whole meal.
That's a whole meal. That's a meal that you could have fed a family. And then that's not even my dessert. That's not even my chips. That's not even my snacks, my pickles, my olives, my cakes, my candies. So I was I was type 2 diabetic. I literally felt like I couldn't even tie my shoes. Not trying to sound vulgar. I couldn't even see my dick. It was to the point where I was getting tired going down the stairs. So I was just like, something has got to give. So for the past 5 years, I would say I tried to do the gastric sleeve surgery because that's what my surgeons have. And I paid what I had to pay for it. And every time I would go, I would literally pussy out and I would end up leaving. And then I just said, something feels different this time. I said, I feel like I have no motivation. I tried to do the diets. I tried to go to the gym. Nothing was working. So I said, you know what? I don't think that it's really my weight. I think it's my fucking mental. So everybody was like, oh, don't go to therapy. Don't go do this. That's because it makes you weak. That makes you pussy. That makes you this. Fuck what y'all got to say. I started therapy and this year makes 2 years I've been going to therapy and it has been the most organic thing for me. Therapeutic because it's a total stranger that you're speaking to. They're giving you the proper advice. They're giving you the type of test and tools that's going to help you get to a better set. And it felt so therapeutic for me. And I was like, you know what? Before I want to even try to attempt to do this surgery one last time, I have to get my mental right. So I started the therapy, happened for like 2 months. And then next thing you know, I went and I started to see my gastric surgeon and I mentioned that I wanted to do it. And then they said, since you've been doing it so many years that you did all these attempts, you don't have to go through all these proper steps that you have to do all these tests because you just did it. So I said, okay, so I get a little advancement. Come to find out, my diabetes was extremely high. My A1C count was at a 14. That is danger zone. That is very bad. Like you could go into critical shock. So I got on Ozempic, and then after I got on Ozempic, it started to like close my stomach. And I know people laugh and they say Ozempic, but you know what? Ozempic isn't a weight loss medication. It is to help you get your diabetes intact. That's the difference with social media, that they curse it, where they laugh and they joke and they think that Ozempic is literally a weight loss medication that people can pay for, people can do, or it's an easy way out. It's not. It's going to help you get your diabetes at the level that it was for me to get under the table, because my BMI was extremely high. They did not want to touch me on that table. So I had to leave. Time to put in that fucking work if you want to change your life. So I got on the Ozempic, and within 2 months, I lost 90 pounds with the Ozempic. So literally, like, I went from eating, like, I would say chicken tenders with fries and end up eating just 2 chicken tenders and no fries. And that's really what it was. I would get like a spoonful of pasta and I was done. You know what I'm saying? So after that, they saw my A1C went from a 14, then it went to a 6, then it went down to a 4. And then they said, okay, Chris, you're ready. I did all my tests. I did my psych evaluation and everything. And then now they said, okay, we're going to give you a date. And they gave me my date. And then I'm like, oh my God, I really can't believe like this is happening. Am I going to do this? And even that morning, my best friend Calvin was stood over my house. We got up at 5 a.m. We had to be at the hospital by 6 because my surgery was at 7. I'm in that cab and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to do it. But I said, you know what? I'm going to do one thing. This is my last thing I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this into God's hands. If something, God forbid, happens on that table that I cannot go through with this, I'm meant to be fucking fat and overweight and I'm going to die like that. Now, if this goes through and this surgery happens, that means I am meant to get a second chance at life to change my life for the rest of my life. And then even my best friend said, when I saw you walk with them in your gown, head, socks, everything, and when I saw you turn, he said he looked and he felt it and he said, Chris is really about to do this. And then next thing you know, I laid in that table. I wasn't even nervous because my surgeon, I got such a bond with her. And once I was nervous at first, and once I saw her face and she spoke to me, snapped out of it in 2 seconds because I created a bond that I've been seeing her for over a year. And that's it. Next thing you know, they gave me the anesthesia and I knocked out. And then that's where all the hell broke loose because they have this extreme gas pain that happens where it's like all the gas filling up. So it literally felt like somebody was stomping me out with Timberlands. Like, I couldn't, like, oh my God, it was such pain. I'm screaming like, oh my God, I regret this. What am I doing? Like, why did I do this? Every single thing going crazy. But, you know, come to find out, I couldn't sleep that whole day. That day was the worst. Next day it was fine, but the only thing that was messed up is that a lot of people, they warned you about. That's why you have to go to therapy, is because it's a mental thing. If you come from an overweight, fat, unhealthy lifestyle, your mind is gonna play tricks on you that you have to eat, you have to intake this. This is what you have to do, because that's how you were coping with your depression. That's how you was using that as a defense mechanism to literally try to feel some type of happy, which was comfort food. So that was the biggest battle. It was realizing that I have to change now. So now I look at it and I'm happy, because I eat like a rabbit. Like I would eat like half a spoon of mashed potatoes and I'm full. And like I went from eating like 2 sandwiches to I eat like not even half a sandwich, protein shakes. And it's a whole lifestyle change. And it still messes with your mental, because you be wanting to eat, you be wanting to do all these things, and it's hard to get to that. But at the end of the day, people understand, even anybody who's looking at this and wants to go and do any type of surgery, get on Ozempic and anything, you have to understand these are all tools. These are not things that are just going to make it happen easily. You have to still put in the work. You still can go and do that and you'll see a drastic change in your weight, but you have to still eat healthy. You still have to portion your foods. You still have to go to the gym. You still have to be active. So with me, I went from being an unactive person to now I walk, I run, I can finally dance again. I wanted to dance again so bad, but I couldn't be able to do anything. I attempt one move, I'm out of breath, I can't breathe. And now I just keep going, and it's the best thing I ever did.
So yeah. So it's official. This is officially the Chrissy that I met. This was dance hall king Chrissy. Now, I didn't know anything. I just seen a big dude splitting, wilding out, super flexibility. Again, my initial was the Scooby-Doo Papa video, and then I started seeing the shot content. I didn't know what was going on. I'm just glad that now you're having fun with it. Now you're having like wow, I can dance again. Yeah. I know that was and that's basically what we're all, everybody's happy in their happy place doing their happy things, right?
Amen.
And I love traveling, and I haven't done anything with martial arts, but I still can skate. I was telling my kid the other day, I could do a cartwheel. Like, I think I still can, right? but the thing is, like, being physical is such a dopamine hit. So now you can replace the food. And by the way, before I forget, I'm so glad you mentioned all of these numbers and the diabetes and all of these things that a lot of people don't get checked.
It's the fact, because I was eating so much candy, drinking so much soda, drinking so much juice, eating so much unhealthy foods. All them stuff that is your favorite stuff is not good for you, which is Chinese food, McDonald's, all those type of things. Yeah, it's good. You don't notice how everything is dirt cheap. All these sales that Burger King and McDonald's and all these other things have, they literally have all these deals to make you be your most unhealthy self. But food is what literally can cause you and stop you from doing a lot and being your best self and your biggest potential that you could ever possibly be, you know? And I know I'm one to preach, because I lived it. I lived it really bad, and it stopped me from being happy or even loving myself. I felt like even still speak on my mental recent breakdown, I felt like I was my old fat version of myself, to the point where I'm never going to be worthy. I'm never going to find a relationship. I'm never going to find love. Am I the ugly friend? All of my friends, they have a relationship, and I'm always the one who's always single. I'm always the one who's the third wheel. But you know what? God will bring me somebody when the time comes. Right now, God brought me to the light out of this dark place to literally get to be my most best authentic version of myself that I ever possibly can be. And that's to be active, to be happy, to smile. I was to the point where I'm not even a fighter. When I was in that dark place, I was bullying people. I was starting with people. I literally would bump people on purpose to try to cause a fight, try to do these things. That's not me. And honestly, life is so short. People are losing their lives for lesser than that. And you have to realize, like, you have to literally focus on what the bigger picture is. And the bigger picture is happiness. And you ain't gonna find happiness from another person if you can't find that happiness within yourself. And that's what I realized, and I say to myself every day, you know, I'm not ugly. I may not be everybody's cup of tea, but you know what? I know I look good. I know I have good intentions, maybe a little dramatic, maybe a little emotional, may overthink a little bit, but you know what? Who doesn't? The difference between me and other people, I own it. I embrace it. I walk and I live in my truth. And can nobody ever take that from me? So when a person comes, they're going to come. And if they don't, they don't. I'm going to still be happy within myself because all you got is yourself.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that's a great take. And I'm really happy that you're able to, at this point in the journey, in the climb, right?
Watch the climb, y'all. You got to watch the climb.
You're able to assess and then not make excuses and take full accountability.
At all.
Right?
And no time for excuses, because then you're looking for sympathy. You're looking for people to feel sorry for you. You're looking for a guilt trip. Like, no, and I did all that. I was looking for sympathy. I was whining. I was complaining. I was having 1,000,001 excuses. Oh, I'm going to start this day. Like that's where it starts from. I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. I'm going to start eating healthy tomorrow. I'm going to stop drinking tomorrow. And then tomorrow ends into the next day, then ends to the next week, then the next month, then the next year. You're going to keep on prolonging it. No, do it now. Because at the end of the day, how I look at it, one thing, especially coming from being a person in the influencer world and now how this generation is so woke and so everything is just like they're like, instead of you being an influencer and inspiring somebody to want to be themselves, people want to follow and do what this person's doing. Like, no, you have to do what is best and what works for you. Don't try to want to get that icy chain because a celebrity wearing it. Don't try to want to get them fronts because celebrity got fronts. Don't try to all of a sudden want to try to force yourself to be a rapper when you never thought about rapping all your life. Don't try to do all these other things because other people are doing it. You can be inspired by it. You can be motivated by it. But whatever works for you, works for you. Like, look, for you, for example, you sat up there and said you went from photography, now you're podcasting. You can dip and dab in everything, and whatever works for you will motherfucking work for you. That's one thing that I learned from this industry. If I was, like you said earlier, if you was to look at your younger self and say one thing, I wish I knew that if I could be strategic back then, I would have been rich. Back then, I was there for all the wrong reasons. Now, if you ain't talking money, don't talk to me at all. That's literally where I'm at. I am about my bag. I am about my money. And that people could say, oh, you did this, you did this. No, baby. This is a new me. This is a new generation. I don't even look back on the past on what I did. We could talk about it because it's an interview, it's a podcast. But baby, this is a new me. Everything that I worked from the ground up right now is all authentically, organically me. No celeb, no cloud chasing, no clickbait, no nothing. This is just me. Whether you fuck with it, you fuck with it. You don't. I'm going to keep on pushing forward and y'all could be left behind.
So that's damn, I'm looking at the list here of the things. I'm gonna jump on the music and projects.
Of course.
But I'm glad I'm like over here giggling and chuckling and shit. I had one that said now and it said new Chrissy.
Oh yeah.
I can't make this shit up.
New Chrissy's in town.
And this is why I wanted to chat. I wanted this conversation. I wanted because I'm seeing it in real time. And I'm like, if I'm not documenting it, if I'm not talking, we've had tons of DMs, tons of conversations, nothing to do with music, they're just life shit.
No, but right? you before we even get to where you're going to go to, and I want to say this, and I want to give you your flowers, because it was times when I was in such a dark place and such like, even thinking less of myself, even before the whole weight loss journey, you would be so uplifting, so reminding me of my worth and my potential, and see things and versions of me that I didn't even see of myself. And that's why I understand, well, whatever you're doing right now, make sure you're doing it and you're pouring into you, because you poured into so many other people. People may not know you, but I know you, and you definitely had a huge impact on me. And like I said, people meet people and they be there for the moments and for the things. I was never there for the photography, for the videography, for the behind the scenes, for the BTS. I'm here for who you are, and you always helped me get to where I am. And people always got to say that. And that's why people be scared to want to give credit when it's due. No, you got to give people them flowers. You got to tell them like, hey, you helped me.
Mad cause the nigga, he be so thick. Dale papi chulo, know you want this. Now wide open, let me set the tick. I know you see this ass when I pop a slit. Everyone wanna taste frizzy lips. Niggas in my DMs and they wanna hit. Got what it takes, Fuck the FaceTime, I'ma put it all on your face. Dale, baila, dale, baila.
Nigga, know your worth.
Baila.
Chrissy, definitely appreciate that. This was personal in a way because I've been in coaching for a long time. I did martial arts. Before that, I was an ice skating coach. I could skate. I used to play hockey. I did that for my early 20s. That was like the best time of my life, my early 20s. In my 30s, I did martial arts. I was always Sensei Hector. Now, Sensei doesn't mean teacher. It means the one that came before. So that means that if I know of something and I'm able to give you that information, that's it. It's that simple. It's not like my students. I never had like this fucking Cobra Kai mentality of you're mine. No, you're you, and I'm just guiding, right? So when I started photography, I had the ability from martial arts and from skating, coaching, the ability to see, oh, there's potential here. There's something that this person wants to do. There might be obstacles. There might be something. And I've reached out to many people. Some, read on read. Some took me up on shit. Some didn't. Some I saw that I'm still in their DMs and they didn't need me, or I didn't need, they didn't reach out. And it's like, it's cool. But I shot my shot, right? I'm like, hey, you want to work? You want to do this? Like I have a list of people that I'm never going to be like, oh, what about, I don't care. But I shot my shot. I go to sleep thinking my intentions were genuine. There was a time, to touch on what you said earlier, that I was clout chasing. That I was like, I need to be around the artists. I need to be, but then I'm like, I would get people, and I remember this. I did a thing for Yandy Smith with my man Zoe, love him to death. The Rucci Leather, right? When I started shooting, I wanted to make sure that I was doing something in a green market. It'll always be around. Hip hop will always be around. And I wanted to do something either in fashion or music or something. Connected with Zoe. Zoe connected me to a lot of people. And I was able to shoot my shot. Some people were not into the photography. They wanted to do a lot of skin. I wasn't into that. I didn't want to clout chase the skin. I didn't want to be the photographer shooting these little mommies, whatever. Listen, not to be vulgar like you said earlier, my dick been wet. I don't got to chase. I don't want to have that responsibility of going, oh, this photographer treated me this way. I don't want no Diddy stories. I don't want that shit. Right? So I went a different route. I've had chicks that wanted to shoot certain things, and I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, where's the money at? Like, I'm good. Exactly. So I wanted to make sure that I highlight that I was also chasing. And then one day I was like, all of these fans and all of these people that are liking my shit like the artist, not what I'm doing. Right. So I wasn't able to monetize it. I'm not saying that it's wrong doing that. So any photographers out there chasing it, cool. But just, I want to give you this piece of advice. Decide when is when you're out of the awareness and the cloud chasing, when you're able to say, I was able to book this person because know your wealth, right? Know your worth.
Know your worth. You got to know your worth.
When that elevates, then you're able to say, yeah, I worked with so-and-so, and now I'm okay with saying the price of the brick went up. I'm fine with that. Facts. But what I'm not fine with is that you don't take initiative and a direction. Yeah. So you decided to take a direction. You realize it wasn't the right direction for you. It wasn't wholesome. It wasn't in your heart.
What you wanted, yeah.
So you were like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's okay to say version 2, version 3.
It's okay to restart. People also are scared to say it's okay to redirect, restart, rebrand, have a new beginning, a new start. It's so many different types of opportunities that is there for you. And that's the thing with social media, they're so boxed in and they want to keep you in that box of a certain type of version, a certain type of person that they have this perception of, where you can literally elevate and prosper and grow and be different. And that's where I'm at now. And one thing that I learned now is that I never gave myself the proper credit that I deserve, or what really knowing what my worth was, and to see how people love the different sides of me, and meaning they love the comedy versions of me. They love the weight loss version of me. And then I never knew that I had this hidden talent that I can really rap, that I'm not a freestyler, but I really write my own shit. And now it's like, it became such a good blessing that I got my first ever booking. That was one of the most expensive bookings I ever had. And they're not booking me to come be a clown. They're not booking me to come be a gimmick. They're not booking me to come to make fun of me. They're booking me to come there to rap. And it's just like, okay, I like this. So maybe Love and Hip Hop ain't see it years ago. Maybe they gonna see it now. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. What's meant for you is for you and only you. And timing is everything. Just because it don't happen then, you gonna get a lot of no's before you get a lot of yeses. And that's what I had to realize. And I used to really be down on myself like, damn, why they got this and not me? Why am I not getting that? I put in more years in this game. I put in more work in this industry. But at the end of the day, baby, it wasn't your time. Your time is coming. And that's why with me now, I don't think like, oh my God, it's a rush. I got to do this. I got to do this. This person got to do this. I got to do that. No. And even when it comes to me posting on social media now, if it don't hit, you got to go. That's it. Because at the end of the day, people, your fans, your supporters, they control what they like on your social media. One moment they gonna like this, one moment they not gonna like that. And whatever, at the end of the day, it's up to you. You gonna let that determine, you gonna let that define you, or you gonna move on and you gonna move forward and you gonna push through out of it. And that's where I'm at right now. At the end of the day, I do what works for me. It's not an ego thing. It's not a cocky thing. I know my worth now. So it's like, I don't settle for nothing less. If you're not paying me what I want to be paid, I'm good. You could kindly say no. You can kindly decline, and you can literally go and just keep on pushing. Because at the end of the day, you don't need nobody. They need you. They're reaching out for you for a certain reason. One thing I learned with social media, man, so many people, they want things to come in their favor. You mean to tell me you want my platform, you want me to be the face of whatever, your product, your business, your brand, your music, anything, and you're not accommodating me the way I deserve to be accommodated? I'm kindly going to have to decline.
And this is the part of the showbiz part that I'm really
big time. Showbiz is cutthroat. It's either you're gonna get chewed up, you're gonna get taken advantage of, you're gonna get manipulated. They're gonna take your kindness for weakness. You gotta have that tough skin and have that type of aura. And if they literally look at you as a weak character, a weak individual, then they're gonna want to get what they want out of you. So like now, say for instance, if they're in a higher status, a celebrity or influencer with money, if you cannot benefit from the situation and it does not make sense, you can say no. Literally. If you're not putting me in a bigger status of what I'm already in, no. If you're not paying me what I deserve, no. It literally works nothing more, nothing less. It's what you need and it's what you want. That was the difference between me then. So to my younger self, you were dumb. You were a cloud chaser. You wanted fame. You wanted flowers. You wanted to be underneath all these celebrities that literally right now, none of them probably know I did surgery. Literally, when I started to go viral for my surgery videos, all the motherfuckers would do like, double tap, not saying congratulations, but when Chrissy was dick riding you, Chrissy was posting you, was tatting your names, was at your events, singing your music, everybody loved me. But the moment I poured into myself, where the fuck y'all at? But you know what? It's cool. I'm not going to make that make me a negative person, because that's the devil trying to win and consume me. But God got me. God covered me. And my blessings are never going to be blocked. So I'm going to continue to be positive despite what the fuck I've been through.
I'm gonna switch over to. Damn, that's a great segue. That was a handful, Chris. Like I know you pouring it out.
Yeah, you got to pour it out.
And I appreciate that. So one of the things that I wanted to touch on was the music. Like I remember seeing, Funny Man, shock comedy, definitely the clout chasing. Like okay, I saw the intentionality in it,
yeah,
and I saw the strategy in it. I'm not gonna knock it. I saw it. And then I'm like, okay, what direction are you going in?
At that point, I didn't know what direction I was going in.
and then I start seeing, okay, you're really gonna pour into the artists. And I remember I was there doing the Damn, you gotta remind me the name of the video.
Kulo, you was there for the Kulo music video. You shot the behind the scenes for the Kulo music video.
I shot the behind the scenes.
Which honestly is one of my songs that I hate, but shout out to my best friend Calvin. That he never lets me live that song down. That is his favorite song in the world. And I'm just like, Lord, oh my God. Every time we had a family functions, his whole family, they love and they dance to it. They're my family. And I'm just like, why y'all love this song so much? Like I hate it, but I'm like, you know what? It is what it is.
That's crazy. So I did that. I don't remember why that I was like, this is gonna be a good song. I don't remember what I was thinking.
It was very catchy. It was good. It was very, and crazy thing is it was just, I wasn't even at my full potential because people don't know that somebody wrote that whole song. I just delivered it, but somebody wrote it. That wasn't even me yet.
It was great delivery.
It was a great delivery. Cause I'm like, at the end of the day, cause like I said, I've been around this industry. I just recently told my best friend Tarzana, I told him that I was like, yo, you think I've been around these celebrities and I wasn't watching? I wasn't studying. That's why I know the ins and outs when it comes to like money, everything. I was at events when I was outside with Cardi B when literally she said, I'm not walking in that venue until I got my envelope. Literally, I was knowing what a all-in is, what your deposit is, how the accommodation is, how everything is. So I was studying everything and I seen how people could go from being a funny person to going delivering a track and being a performer, an entertainer. I knew what it was. So even though people love that song, I did not write that song.
So I shot the behind the scenes and I didn't know what the fuck to expect, right? And when I shot the behind the scenes,
it was fun. It was a vibe.
I actually felt like with the exception, and I want you to quote me if I'm wrong, with the exception of the syncing, right, of the actual, I'm trying to get the thoughts right. I don't do music videos. So I shot the behind the scenes and I shot it in my mind. What if I was shooting the music video? So to me, that's the way I shot it.
And I love that video. Before, sorry to cut you off. I love that video, but your BTS footage was better than the video. I always said that. I'm like, yo, the angles, everything was everything. I always loved it.
I remember you saying that at the time. I remember you saying that. I didn't want to put no words in your mouth, but I shot it in the idea of, what if I was shooting it? What if I wanted to get into music videos?
You could have dominated if you did.
So I thought, I appreciate that. I wanted to do that, and then I shot it, and I had fun. I was like, this is some wild shit. You know, I'm a fan, and I say this wholeheartedly. Like, my cousin's in the community. I've always been, aligned and I guess, that's not the word. The word is an ally, right? I've always been
I
like,
always said you're an ally.
I'm always like, do you? I don't give a fuck. But what I saw with what you were doing and the direction that you were moving in was, this is me. I'm gonna say some raunchy ass shit, and I love that you say, I didn't write it. I love that. Like, it's like, I just delivered it. Like, your transparency in the business of show business is, to me, I always look at that very, very highly, because I've been around some of these people. I'm hitting the wrong fucking buttons. I've been around. By the way, let me say this shit out. Shout out to fucking me right now, real quick.
Yeah, shout out to you doing everything. I was just telling him off camera. You literally, everybody could have a team, but when you your own team and you running everything, he is running everything behind the scenes. He's running all the cameras, all the volumes, all the mics, all the logistics behind us. You got to give him his flowers.
So I say that, and I forgot because the camera did cut off earlier, and I didn't say this. The reason Oprah's Oprah. And she shot, quote me on this, look it up. She was on the cover of Oprah magazine for like 2 decades. Yeah. And the reason she did this, fun fact, because if we're like, hey, Chrissy, I want to shoot a magazine. I want you to be like the headline on the magazine. Motherfuckers don't show up. Yeah. So then if you don't show up, now I'm on the fucking cover of my own magazine, and Oprah did that over and over and over again to the point that she was like, I'm not asking shit. I'm not asking anybody for anything. Yeah. So we talked a little bit off camera. My travels have become solo travels because it's not that I don't like the no's. It's just I'm tired of the excuses. So I'm like, listen,
Amen
I'm
to
booking
that.
this day. I'm going here. I'm going there. I remember I had a fallout with a lot of my friends back when I was in my 20s and I was good looking. And we had the most.
What you mean when I was looking? You still look good.
No,
Please don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself.
I gotta get back. So
Oh, you gotta embrace
appreciate
that.
it. Yeah, I'm almost 50 and I'm feeling like, man, I'm all right for almost 50, right? So
Gray hairs is the new hairs. I always say that.
Gray
Gray hairs
hairs-
is the new hairs.
shit,
Cause I'll be
hold
looking
on.
at my beard. I'll be like, damn, where the fuck all these gray hairs come from? I'll be like, gray hairs the new
say
hairs.
that one more time. What? Right?
Gray hairs are the new hairs. I don't give a fuck. Like I always be like, damn, I got gray hairs here, gray hairs there. I don't give a
salt and
fuck.
pepper,
I
right?
still look good. Salt and pepper is where it's
the
at.
shit. So I was like, that's one of the reasons why you got to do your own thing, and I applaud that. If you had a team, great, and if you don't, like
You could make stuff
understand.
happen on your own for
Yeah,
real.
like,
It
you really
could.
gotta
It's
push.
very possible. It's very easier to have other people like help you and handle all the logistics or say for instance planning and being very more organized. But when you do it on your own, I feel like you're gonna be so much more proud of yourself. Like, damn, I really did that. Like I really accomplished that. And I feel like you'll be more proud of yourself when you look back on that situation. That's what I think of.
So Chrissy, on that we hit a lot.
And one more thing I want to say before I forget about it is you mentioned something earlier and you was talking about like how I'm transparent and very vulnerable when it comes to being in this industry. A lot of people are very, very trying to be people pleasers. They're trying to literally fake it till you make it and don't want to be organic or authentically yourself. People are going to love you for who you are. Don't try to follow some type of standard because you see a celebrity, a person who has more followers, a person who has more money. You have to literally do whatever the fuck makes you happy, what makes you driven, what makes you motivated, what makes you inspired. Fuck all that noise, fuck all the naysayers, fuck all the negativity, block all that shit out and just keep on doing you and being you. And that's one thing that I learned because I was too busy trying to follow the hype, be in the hype, be seen, and just do all that shit for what? These people are regular motherfuckers. You bleed and shit the same way I do. So I'm not gonna sit up there and try to be like you because I'm not you. The difference between, and then with me, like I said, people always be like, oh, you're a groupie, you support this, you support that. I'm a fan. And I'm not ashamed to say I'm a fan of an artist. I go to a concert to enjoy the music because it probably did something mentally, physically, and emotionally for me. That's the difference. I'm not trying to be your friend. And that's my problem. Back then, I was trying to be everybody's friend. I was trying to literally go and dick ride and ride everybody's coattail. And it may have worked for a lot of people. A lot of people rode coattails and they became very successful within this industry. But me, I don't got to ride nobody's coattail now. I'm riding my own coattail. I'm on my own wave. I'm on my own journey. And with the help of no one but my damn self. And that same thing goes for you. You literally are doing this all on your own. So whether you want to dip and dab, I want to go from photography to podcast, videography, whatever the fuck travel, it don't matter. Ride your own wave, y'all. That's the key word. Ride your own wave.
No, I appreciate that. And that's basically what you said earlier, where we talked about the advice you would give to your younger self.
Yeah, big time.
And, with these trials and tribulations, with the influencing, with the artists, and I want to touch on that. I think it might be one of my last. We covered so much.
Yeah,
we did this shit. Real talk.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk more about
right
that. I think we going right back into the artist thing. I remember you was mentioning about me being the artist.
Yeah. So the artist, I really had no idea, and I
had no idea either. It blindsided the fuck on me. Honestly, not trying to be shady, but I'm very direct. Tarzana, which is one of my closest friends, I would call him my best friend. He wrote my music for me, and then when we was going through hardships within our friendship, he's trying to build his own career on his own himself. He's very talented, very good rapper, and my whole thing is I got tired of depending on another person. So it actually made me and him go through like a lot of hardships within our friendship, which we're good, we're perfect, we're inseparable right now. So now I was like, let me see if I could do this shit on my own. And then even he gave me my own flowers, and he's a phenomenal rapper. He'd be like, bitch, you be spitting. And the thing is with me, like you mentioned earlier with the whole not trying to be vulgar type shit. And with me now, I don't even like that vulgar shit. Like somebody recently wanted me to do a feature and they're more of a higher stature than me. And they're like, I want you to talk nasty. I want you to do this. And I'm like, I don't even do that no more. Like I really be trying to spit these metaphors, these lines, like these shits that just hit. You get what I'm saying? Like I've been around hip hop is everything to me. Like I love dancehall. Yeah, I'm a dancehall king, Chrissy. I love reggae music, but hip hop is what I was born and raised into. My father raised me on my favorite rapper of all time is Biggie. Like Biggie's untouchable to me. And I feel like his aura, his persona, and I feel like even if he was alive still to this day, would have been just everything. So with me, I look off that Big Pun. I look on the GOATs, like the OGs, of course, Nicki Minaj and all those type of things. But it's just like with me, I love hip hop. So when I realized that I can really rap and I can really do it, because everybody says I try to sound like a gay Nicki, but I don't care. It's fine. I enjoy it. But being vulgar is gonna get you. But so far, I don't have a pussy. There's no power to pussy over here. I feel like girls could get away with that. Men can't. Even if you're a gay man, you're still a man at the end of the day. So I didn't realize I had this hidden talent and I really enjoy it so much. And the thing is with me, why I feel like a lot of people are like, oh my God, this new song that you're putting out. Cause I really would just do jokes on Instagram now. Like not really jokes, it's jokes in my head, but I would post like my raps and stuff. And they just like, oh my God, this song is lit, this new song. And I'm like, bitch, I wrote that shit 3 years ago. Like what the fuck? And I'm enjoying it to see the reactions of people. And I'm just like, I have my catalog on iTunes is crazy. And all these songs are old, but I never pushed it because money. You gotta understand, I still live day to day, check to check, week to week. I still have responsibilities. I have utilities. I have things that I need to take care of and pay for. So that's why when we could piggyback off of what we said, where it's like, you have to have a team. I don't have a team. I don't have nobody paying for a music video, paying for this. If I had all that, I probably think I would be bigger and better than I ever was because I would have the actually finances. I will have the finances where I can actually go and support my music, do music videos. I have such a vision. I'm a visionary when it comes to this music. I want to live to the expectations of taking my music far because I really see that vision. When I go to concerts, I'm not just seeing a concert of a celebrity that I'm supporting. I'm seeing what I know that I can do, and I know that I can have that impact on people, but I don't got the money when it comes to that. So I'm going to do what I could for the time being. But if it was to come to out of this influencer shit, out of this comedy shit, out of that clownery shit, out of that clickbait shit, music is everything to me right now because I love writing, I love performing, and and I'm getting out of my comfort zone because I'm just like, damn, are they gonna like this or this? They're so used to me being a clown, shaking my belly, showing my armpits, doing all this crazy type of shit, being in a thong, dressing up. Nah, I want them to really take me serious because you don't have to do all the dramatics with the wigs, the hairs, the drag, this. No shade to none of them. Happy Pride, y'all. But I want to just be me. I'm a regular gay boy who wants to just rap. If I was to sum it up,
that is you definitely summed it up. Like that's a lot of, man. And that's when you have to feel comfortable in self. Go for it. Yeah, absolutely. That's when you really gotta feel comfortable in your own skin and switch and make moves, switch the narrative and decide that you're not doing this for anybody but you. I think it's critical.
And don't put yourself in a box. And I always try to tell that to people. And I say that with the utmost love and respect to anyone. You are capable of doing anything. People understand this generation. I came from the generation before this time, and there was no Instagram, there was no social media, there was no trying to do this for likes, for views, for followers. It was more of you just want to have fun. And I realized that this past weekend, when I went the first day, I went to Beyonce's concert 3 times this past weekend with her residency at MetLife Stadium. And first day I recorded everything. And then the second day I was just like, holy shit, now I see why Busta Rhymes and Fat Joe and all these other people say, yo, put your phones away. Yo, like, enjoy the show. And it's like, you enjoy it. And even sometimes I find myself like crying. And I'm crying to the point where it's like, I'm not crying because I'm sad or depressed. I'm crying because it reminds me of how life was then. And and how precious life is. And that's why I tell people, as angry as you may get, and one thing I learned from my father, this is the best thing that my father, who was my everything, he showed me that it's okay to cry. It's okay to release your frustration, your anger with crying. It doesn't make you less of a man. It doesn't make you less of a woman. It doesn't make you less of your worth if you shed a tear. Because you know what? That goes to show you're a survivor. You're a fighter. You're a person who's going to continue to keep on prospering and growing and elevating because you're choosing not to go down the wrong paths by just shedding a tear. You know what I'm saying? And even here's the thing. It's not even about shedding a tear with being angry, mad, or upset or sad. You shedding a tear because you happy. You living in the moment. Like, damn, life is so precious. People are losing their lives in a blink of an eye. And, you know, over whether it's dumb shit, whether it's health shit, you got to understand, you got to enjoy it and live it to its full potential, because I always say this and people don't want to listen to this. You on borrowed time.
Exactly.
When God calls you and God needs you, God's going to call you. So you know what? I'm going to not take advantage of this time that I'm on this earth, being angry, being miserable, being bitter, being a hater, being negative. I'm going to choose and take all of that and make it into something positive. And whether you're going to catch on, you're going to accept it, you're going to love it, that's on you. I live for me, and y'all should do the same.
I love that. And that really, you know, I don't want to say that sums it up, but that was something that we were talking about earlier about the idea of YOLO.
YOLO is real.
It's real, but a lot of people,
real.
They live it irresponsibly. Like I look at it and I travel and I'm like, listen, you just hit it. I'm on borrowed time.
You are on borrowed time.
I don't know when it's going to be my day.
And a lot of people take that for granted, by the way, sorry to cut you off, but they take that for granted. And they think that, you know, like, you're going to sit up here and you're going to be here every single day. You don't know. God forbid you could leave and you could get hit by a car, hit by a train, car blows up, like literally plane crashes, God forbid, anything. So enjoy that. And a lot of people, they take people for granted, their loved ones, their friends, their family, their relationships. And it don't be worth it. No, bitch, I lived it. I'm trying to get out of it.
Yeah,
I still be petty. I mean,
and this is the month for it, Chris. Like this is mental awareness. When, you know, I'm so glad that you were transparent about therapy. I did some therapy in 2015. I was going through it. 2015. Yep. I've definitely, and I've been self-medicated through sports, through mentorship in communities like the judo community and the martial arts community is solid. Like you're going through trials and tribulation on a physical level, and then you compete, and then you're helping other people. It's such a giving community. Yeah. So if you don't have that, whether you have it in music, whether you have it, you know, with Tarzana, which I met, superhuman being, like, you know, I met Calvin. I see the connection when people are like the support system.
And even if you don't have the support system, like I said, I do have that support system, and sometimes you gotta be your own support system sometimes, because not everybody's fortunate enough to have those others who are going to love you and support you. And I learned to that, because like I said, they are my friends. They are my best friends at that. But with me, I have to get myself out of this situation, because I literally look at it. They didn't get me out of my dark place. I got myself out of my dark place.
Love it.
I went and I literally got tired of my own excuses, got tired of my own bullshit, got tired of, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Then it comes to next week. Then it comes to next year. Then next month. No, you have to literally push the fuck through, bro. Literally, like, it's mind over matter. Your mind is your biggest fucking downfall, your biggest critic, your biggest voice in your head that's going to stop you and block your own blessings. It don't be other people. It don't be clout. It don't be followers. It don't be social media. It be your own self. So if you could get out of that, you could get out of anything.
So this is a really good segue to what is new. Like, what I know, happiness is new on the horizon.
Happiness is everything.
Health is wealth on the horizon. As I get older, things are definitely breaking down. I have my own issues. Yeah. I got to watch what I eat. I have to protect my energy.
Please preach what you just said. Let's talk about that real quick.
What's that?
Protect your energy, protect your space, protect your aura. Y'all don't understand. Like, I will go into a room, and if I see you're negative, get me the fuck out of here. I don't want no parts. Literally, because I can't stress this enough. People just be so mad for whatever demons you got going on. But if I go into a space and I feel like well, I mean, coming happy, you're coming very negative. Because the difference is with me, I always say this, and mark me if I'm wrong, there's 2 levels. I can go from freedom to prison. So it's either or. There's no in between, freedom or prison. I choose to want to do freedom because everybody wants to be free. But if you take me to prison, you can't stop me from getting to that level. And that's really where I'm at. And I realize that it don't even be you, it be people. People are stupid. People like literally are so negative. People are users. People are manipulators. People are narcissistic. They want to take advantage. So you have to literally know your fucking worth and know that you can't settle for less, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, a job, a business, anything. Don't go for less than what you're worth. If you know that what you bring to the table, bitch, you are the table. And if you're not giving that, get the fuck out.
Yeah, the protection of the energy is...
Oh, protection of the energy. I love that. When you said that, you just got me hyped. Like, I love that because I live off that. Protection of you have to protect your space and the energy. And even if it's your best friend or your relative, your significant other, like, no. Like, life is short, bro. And the thing is y'all can listen to that life is short, but the moment someone passes away, here goes the paragraph post. Here goes the tears. Here goes all this. And it's just like... where were you pouring that when this person was breathing on this earth? And I expressed this to my dad because my family don't fuck with me. My family don't fuck with my dad. It's me and my dad. We're each other's family. Y'all act like we are the fucking black sheeps of the motherfucking family. You get what I'm saying? When all we do is show love. Yeah, the difference is we're very vulnerable. We're very transparent. We're very blunt. I'm sorry we don't sugarcoat what everybody else wants to think or say. You could be fake on your own time. I choose to want to be real. And you get what I'm saying? But then God forbid something happens to me. God forbid something happens to my dad. Everybody want to cry. Everybody want to play victim. Bitch, fuck that paragraph. Fuck all that sad shit. You wasn't saying that shit while I was breathing. You could eat a motherfucking dick. I'm not with none of that shit. Love me while I'm here. Give me them flowers while I can fucking smell them. If you're not giving me that, you don't need to be here. Straight up. Like I told my father this the other day, and it's the realest shit I think I ever said to anybody. Fuck with who's in the present. Who's with you right now? Who's calling you right now? Who's texting you right now? Who wants to chill with you right now? Don't fuck the memories. Anybody can make memories with anybody. It's what's in the present right now. That's what matters to me. Who's checking on me? Who's loving on me? Who wants to be around me? Who enjoys me? If you're not giving me none of those things that I just listed, respectfully, you can eat a dick.
Eat a dick.
Eat a dick.
I used to say eat a bag of dicks.
Hey, eat a bag.
So, because like when you take out the trash, like a bag of trash with the drippy water.
It's sad because I really wish people could just wake up and just see, like, it's not even a thing about, like, people would take that what I just said as it's very negative when it's really the most, I think, respectful, mature thing that a person can say, because life is short. When you look at that coffin and you see somebody laying in there, you think about all those memories. But what happens to those memories that and let me say something. I have one person, I'm not going to say no names, that I really was like, they were like my closest friend that I knew since my teenage years. And I expressed my mental health to them. And I expressed like, hey, I need you to be present. I feel like I demand a lot, but I just want to speak to you and see you, like not see you every day, see you at least once a week, once every 2 weeks, speak every day, even if for 10 seconds. Like, look, one thing I love about Calvin, that's my best friend, he gets me more than anyone. And we don't talk on the phone for long. It'll be like he's walking to the train, about to walk and work. Hey, bro, you good? You good? All right, go talk to you later. I'm the happiest person in the world. I saw your face. I heard your voice. I felt your love. I can keep it pushing. But like you also said, you can't put these standards onto everybody. But at the end of the day, if a person really loves you and a person really respects you, they would accept that. You're not really asking for much. You just want to feel loved. You just want to feel, needed and wanted. So I had a friend that wasn't wanting to even do the bare minimum, that you want to just go ghost for like 2-3 months and then act like I don't exist, not knowing that the biggest quote that I live with, and I feel like people should understand, I'm gonna look right in that camera. The best quote that I live with is, you are what you allow. If you are there allowing a person to get comfortable, they're going to milk you, use you, and take advantage of you and do what the fuck they want. Set the motherfucking standards up motherfucking high. Don't let nobody go and ever manipulate you or second guess you or make you feel less of your worth. Because if you know what you bring to the table, like I said earlier, bitch, you are the table, period.
The table. You the table.
You the table.
So, man, we covered a lot. Let's dive right into. Yes, hold on. Protecting energy is 100%.
I love that. I was still saying that. I love that.
I heard this from a podcast person. I don't know who they are. I just heard it and I believed it immediately. They were in a podcast space. It was a shared space with J. Cole. And I like J. Cole. I like his energy. He protected, on a side note, with the whole riff with Drake and Ken Dot, he decided to bow out to protect his energy. A lot of people like hip hop is battle rapping. You couldn't do it. Blah, 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 blah. That was about his energy. And I know this and I agree with this because I heard there was a shared space. They were using it as a podcast space and J. Cole comes in and they're beefing and they're talking wild shit. J. Cole says, "What's up?" He goes to the next room and he leaves. Yeah. They weren't aware that they were wilding the fuck out. J. Cole did not want any part of it and left the building. Literally left the suite, the place. And I have a friend, his brother just came back from rehab, right? He had an alcohol problem. And I grew up with this guy, so he's my friend. But his brother says, like what you just said, you go from freedom to jail. He says that he used to beef at his brother because he's like, my brother's trying to act crazy, but he's normal. And I'm normal. I'm sorry, and I'm crazy trying to act normal, right? I have a 0 to 60 as well. And I choose peace because, not today saying.
Peace is everything.
You have to make a choice to say, yes, I could go there, but I'd rather not because you're going to have anxiety, you're going to have regret, you're going to have all of these situations.
It will overwhelm you.
That's the part. Say that again.
It will overwhelm you. If you do not choose peace and you choose the opposite of peace, it will overwhelm you. And I learned that firsthand with everything. And even as this positive change that I have within me, that I was just feeling like nothing can stop me. It will be the devil. It'll be people who are just used to a certain type of version of you that will want to just come and knock on that door and try to bring that negativity there and try to know that that evil version of you, that negative version of you is still there. Come back outside. No, bitch, I'm good. I'm locked up. I'm great. I want to be peaceful because once you get there, it becomes overwhelming. You're like, damn, how do I get out of this? How am I going to overcome this? And you're going to get in your mind. You're going to second guess. You're going to doubt. And if you're not choosing that peace, choose peace. Even if you make it feel like you're weak, you're pussy, you're less than, it's fine. I'm going to take this L. You take that win. That's what makes you feel better. Because a lot of people, they want to make you feel weak and they want to make you feel less than to make them gain power, to make them gain strength.
Say that again. That's their win for the day.
Their win for the day is literally by seeing another person mad, angry, sad, upset, and make them feel less than. And they can feel like, yeah, I won. I did this. I got my lick back. I did that. In all reality, sweetheart, God is watching over us and God sees everything and you are doing nothing but the bare minimum of settling and blocking your own fucking blessings. That's all you're doing because everything that you put out in the universe is going to come right back to you. And I learned that the hard way. Because like I said, I could be on a positive standpoint right now, but I came from a negative, dark ass place and I was not the best person to others. I wasn't the best version of myself, but you know what? I'm going to put in the work to erase that from my own memory. I don't care what you think. I care what I think. I care what I know. And it's not for anyone else to say, but a lot of people out there, they're very dark. They're very, manipulative, narcissistic, and they want to see other people fail. They want to see other people miserable, sad, and they fuel off that. They could, and it'll be the little blindsiding things like, oh, damn, you going through that? Oh, I'm so sad of you. As soon as they hang up, yeah, bitch, he going through that. Fuck that. He deserves that. That's how evil people are in this world. So that's why you said it. Protect your space and protect your energy.
You gotta protect it. One of the things, I'm not gonna really shit on the Bronx, but we all live in urban, right? It's not, Brooklyn's got its good and bads. Yeah. Bronx has, man. I lived in Manhattan a long time. Manhattan used to have LES, which is falling. There's a lot of areas anywhere. I'm sure Staten Island, it's got the areas. Queens. My point is, when I travel, I rejuvenate and I go and I see things.
It's therapeutic.
And it's super therapeutic for me. And I need to lose myself to constantly find myself.
Oh, amen.
So-
Say that again. You need
so,
to lose yourself
yeah, I
to
need
find
to-
yourself.
I literally need to just bounce and then be, on some fucking Buddhist type of shit.
But
and just
even
bounce.
sorry to cut you off. One thing
Yeah.
that I learned and I find so much inspiration from you, and you give me the motivation to do this and get out of my bubble and my comfort zone, where it's like, it's cool to go and travel and want to do things and, have others around you. But the fact that you're always traveling and you're always doing all this stuff alone and with no one, and that you see it in your face, you're generally living your best fucking life when you're out here doing all these vacations. And you even push me to do it, because when I go out to eat, I'm by myself. When I go to the movies, I'm by myself. And I never had the courage to actually travel by myself. But you know what? I said, it's 2025. And it's 2020 mine. So I'm gonna motherfucking
2020
travel.
mine. I'm about to steal that shit.
2025 and it's 2020 mine, bitches.
Love it.
You gotta go and you gotta do what's best for you. And I got that inspiration from you, because I'm like, this man travels everywhere by his damn self. And I'm like, you can make so much memories. You can meet people, you can network, you can literally even just be at peace. Even if you're just chilling, watching the water, even if you're just chilling in the pool, having a little drink, or even if you're just in your hotel sleep, you're at peace, you're at ease, you're away from the noise. And I feel like that's needed. And so it's like, people who follow you, I hope they get that inspiration that I get from you, because I get that a lot.
I love that. Sometimes I'm gonna be honest, I don't post, and then I heard somebody say, like this conversation, it's motivating. So sometimes I do it and I'm like, yeah, maybe I should let them know what I'm doing. For example, today I did the Home Depot shit with my son early, 9 o'clock in the morning. Construction shit. Shit, shower, shave. I gotta come here, look clean. I'm here. I had to set up. Went to go meet you. Now I'm gonna go back and do. Now, there's people that don't do one thing in the week, and I might be doing 3-4 things in a day. That could be motivating for the other person to say,
also,
"Fuck,
it
motherfucker,
also
do
could
it."
be inspiring to somebody for their mental health. And one thing that I learned is that when you're there and you're just stuck, you're letting your mind wander, you're letting your mind consume you and control you. When you're active and you're doing things, whether it's going for a walk, working, chilling with friends, it doesn't have to consume with liquor, alcohol, or drugs. As long as you're active and being busy and productive with yourself, you're gonna be like, damn, holy shit, where the fuck time went? Like, damn, time passed. And then next, you're on to the next day. And that's how people be happy. And it's also healing for your own mental health. And
that part is therapeutic.
Very.
The checking things off a list has been documented to be therapeutic. To say I did that, like you said, I'm that bitch, I'm that dude, I did that. I post sometimes and I remember, like I just posted recently, I found a video, it was in my WhatsApp, like an old video of when I did the walkthrough of my photo studio. And I was in, utopia. I was like, my brain was exploding, because I'm like, this is brand new. I'm doing this. I'm taking the risk. It's a lot. And that's a whole nother entrepreneur. We could have another segment just on the business side of this shit, because it's solo. And going back to the solo traveling, 100%, I'm all ears on what's your budget. It is extremely therapeutic. In the beginning, solo travel is a lot, because I'm not a type A 100% linear planner. But I go, this is my budget. This is what I'm gonna do. And if you look at my travel videos, I'm not out there wearing. This is a travel hat, Amsterdam. When I love Amsterdam. So I'm always thinking of cost, food, hotels. I've stayed in $25 hotels. I've stayed in $300 hotels. And there's a lot in betweens, right? So I have to be like, all right, how much am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? Am I going to be drinking? No.
you can always have fun on a budget, guys. I always say this. You can have fun on a budget. Stop living in the hype of social media. Stop bashing Spirit and Frontier. Stop bashing all the people
100%.
because they make it work. It's fine. Don't try to live up to the standards of other people. You can still have a ball on a budget. I always say that I have a ball on a budget. Even when it comes to even looking good, like you don't have to wear the designer clothes, the jewelry, and you can still
Shout out to the GOAT. I see you.
The GOAT, greatest of all time, greatest of all time, period.
So I want to close off on a really, really good note on what is next. Like I'm seeing this newer version, 2.0, 3.0, Chrissy. You know, the I remember when I first saw you or first heard you, you know, speak patois, you know, I was like, you're such a, I want to make sure I highlight this. There's, what'd you say earlier? Coattails. Then there's I'm a fan.
And I learned recently that it's okay to embrace if you are a fan, a supporter of somebody. That doesn't make you look like a groupie. It doesn't make you look like you are less than. That person has an impact on your life, whether it's their music, it's their fashion, whether it's their look, whether it's their story. It's okay to embrace that. You don't look like any less than. Don't let what social media or anybody else has their opinion of you or think of that. It is what it is. You love what you love. At the end of the day, you're spending your money to listen to their music. You're spending their money to see them perform. So at the end of the day, this is your choice.
And Chrissy, it's important to highlight your consistency on your, you know, fanatic, right? You're like, you are a super fan. So
when I'm a fan of you, I'm a fan of you. I'm embrace that. I'm a fucking fan of you.
And I see it. I see it from far to go, wait a second. Nah, he's
even recently to piggyback on being a fan, like my best friend, he was like, you know, I never knew how much you love Vibes Cartel. And I said, you understand, like when I started to feel the love of dancehall, he was one of the first male artists that I ever fell in love with, but he was locked up for some years, and you know, I never got to actually show that. I always showed it by listening to his music, knowing all his lyrics, having his catalog. But the fact that now this man is out of prison and he's actually doing and performing these shows, it's therapeutic to me. It makes me so happy. It makes me feel whole. It reminds me of when I was a kid. And I don't care if people look at me as a groupie, if people judge me because I'm gay and I'm supporting a male dancehall artist. It doesn't matter because my sexuality has nothing to do with anything. What matters is the fact that the impact that this man has had on me and music. It makes me happy. It makes me relive my childhood, and I'm going to support what I support and what I love. And people be like, damn, I never knew you really loved this person. I said, it ain't coming because I never got to show it. And now, you understand, people are so scared to give those flowers while they are able and alive to smell them. And I'm not ashamed to do that. You look at me as a fan, a groupie, or this or this, I'm going to keep on doing what I got to do.
You're gonna keep man, listen.
It's my money. At the end of the day, it's my money. And my happiness.
This shit just wild out on me. I love it. Fuck it. We doing this.
We make it work.
So as far as what's next for you, tell me about the music. Tell me about, and I know it has to do with budget.
Of course.
I hope that I see you traveling some more. We talked about this off camera, about the Real ID. I tell people, listen, you got to get that TSA. You got to get that
it.
global.
I was not playing. I was in that thing for like 4 hours. Like, I'm going to get my motherfucking Real ID. I want to be traveling. Even though I'm not going to lie, the inspiration wasn't because I wanted to go to Vibes Cartel concert in Atlanta. So I said, I got to make this work. But I'm like, I still want to travel for my birthday. I'm going to just make new memories. Because like I said, you really are a big inspiration when it comes to traveling. I see all these beautiful places that you visit. I'm just like, oh my God. It's just the scenery. It's not even the fact of going for the turn up to be drunk, to be lit. It's just to be in different places and meet new people and meet new things and see new things that you don't just see out of your bubble in New York.
You don't. And then to touch on that real quick, it's probably about between cities and provinces, right? Because New York has five boroughs, right? Now, so you tally them up really quickly. So if you go to, let's say, the basic ones are real basic shit. DR, PR, Cancun, Jamaica. Those are basic. Jamaica, you got Mobe, Negril, Ochi, right? And then Cancun is just Cancun. It's not that big. Then you got DR, PR. Punta Cana, San Juan, Old San Juan, or other parts of the island, which I don't know. But the point is, those are your basics. After that, it's so easy to go to Europe. It feels so far away. You fucking go to sleep. You wake up in a new country. Yeah, it's not that complicated.
That's the beauty of it all.
Take a late ass flight, yeah, and you go. And the first time I went to Madrid, not the first time I went to Madrid. That was like my first European spot. Was it Madrid or Paris? Paris was the first one. Paris is easy.
I always wanted to go to Paris. And the crazy thing is somebody recently told me, sorry to cut you off. Somebody recently said, oh, Paris, it's not what it looks like. It's not the videos. I'm like, look, you can say whatever you want. I want to vision it for myself. I'm gonna have my motherfucking picture with that fucking building behind me lit up at night.
Tower,
I don't care. I want the Eiffel Tower in my pic. It's fine. It's a memory that you want to create for you.
It's memories, man. And a lot of people, the same thing with New York. When people see New York on TV, it's not the same New York.
New York is the easiest and convenient way to travel. I would say that. You ain't fucking with New York when it comes to that MTA and get on that motherfucking bus and that train. You can go to point A to B in 2 seconds.
So real quick, on that note, Paris, London, I keep hitting the music because I'm fucking with the 24 hours to live. It keeps coming on. It's just God. It's the way it works.
It's cool. It's cool.
So Paris is easy. London is easy. Amsterdam is easy. Why? Because you can move around. Paris has the train. I don't speak the language. No parlez-vous français. I don't. But I could fucking read a color, and the train looks like our sophisticated. Our train system is extremely sophisticated. It's old as fuck. It's old, but it works. You pay your $275, your $290, whatever it is now. I don't even know. I just hit the card and I go. The point is that London has that. Paris has that. Easy. Get the flight across. I stayed in an area that's very easy to get around. You don't gotta spend. And I went to the hood. I went crazy. I went to the hood. I did because
I went in Paris.
There's a hood everywhere on the globe.
Oh wow!
So
I know
went
there's
to
a hood in London. Somebody told me there's a hood in London.
Oh, there's plenty of hoods in London.
Trying to get me to go out there in London. They better come turn up with us. There's a whole gay dancehall community in London. And
I'm gonna keep telling you, and I tell everybody, for every community there is a community.
Always.
So when you go wherever you go, you can get, and I'm not going to podcast about this, but I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly in all the places that I went to.
That comes with life. That comes with
it just comes with it. And it just comes with it. So I want to always encourage, you got my direct info, the DM, but let's close with your music and your projects. I know right now you're living life with Vibes Cartel, like you said, one of the best to ever do it. Right?
Ever do it.
So when he went away, there's going to be, like for me, for example, real quick, I got really sad. There was one year that I wanted to go see, I think Wu-Tang in Prague. Mm-hmm. And the European, I got into the conversation, I flipped the camera.
It happens.
The European flow of the 90s, right? The 90s is untouchable. Why?
Untouchable.
Because they're living it for the first time. And a lot of the artists are going out there, and the energy is...
It's everything.
I'm getting goosebumps. The energy is uncanny. It's so different. So when Vibes goes to Europe, you got to go to Europe.
And it's a different kind of feel. When I realized when I went to the Brooklyn show, and it was his first ever New York show, so I was happy that I went to it. And
legend shit,
aura and the energy that was just so different. And then it was just like hearing these songs that I used to go to before I was even out the closet. I used to go to in straight parties and just be myself. And it's just like, it's different. And that's why I'm right now I'm getting my outfit made for Atlanta, and I have a guy who's doing a spray paint artist, and I said, hey, I want to do something different, but I want to go crazy. I said, I want you to spray paint all his song titles. I said, but I don't know how to do it. He was like, how many songs you got? I said, this man got catalog for days. Put everything on it. So he's literally putting 100 songs on the back of my shirt with his face on it. And I'm just like, you know what? Because at the end of the day, these are songs that I don't just know. I know word for word. It just hits different. You get what I'm saying? And even people were bashing me. They was judging me like, oh, what if he knows? I feel like that man went through so much in prison that man would know what love is. Whether he accepts it or his culture accepts it, he would embrace the fact that this man isn't Jamaican. This man isn't the kind that my kind accepts. But I see the love that my music has done for this individual. And I'm going to embrace and appreciate that. I'm pretty sure he saw my face. I'm pretty sure he saw my videos. And that's why I keep it up. You could laugh at me. You could judge me. You could say I'm a Batsy man. I'm this and I'm that. None of that is ever going to stop. Even if I was to ever meet him and he would reject me, that still wouldn't stop the love that I have for that man's music. Because I'm not here for you to accept me. I'm here for, thank you for your music, sir.
It's not validation.
You did your job. You did your job, and your job was as an entertainer, as an artist, and as a legend and a king in this game. You know what I'm saying? But one thing before we go about the closing and what's coming up, when you mentioned about looking back on old things, I had to say this before we end this.
Yeah, go ahead.
With me, when I look back at my old videos and I look back at my old content and I look back on my old version of myself and how I used to look, and I am so disgusted and cringy. Like, what the fuck was I thinking? What the fuck was I doing? And I'm just like, I love y'all who support me, who are my fans, my friends, my family, and, you know, love what Chrissy gives and brings to the social media. But man, get the fuck out of it, man. Like, I'm in a different light. I'm in a different version. I don't even want to do that. I'm not even on that type of timing. But you know what? I appreciate it. I love the supporters. I love when people stop me. I love when people ask for pics and videos. I'm always going to be off the humble. Even if I become bigger than what I am, humbleness is always in my heart because I know what the fuck I came from. I came from the mud. I came from the gutter. I came from struggle. I came from living check to check. I came from being poor. I came from selling DVDs. I came from the struggle. I came from EBT. I came from all that. You feel me? I'm from the hood. So I accept that. I know where I came from. But when I look back on that, I do not respect what I did, but I did it for a reason. And you know what? I had to do that, and I had to post that, and I had to go viral for that in order to become the person that I am today. And I feel like that's what's making me better and making me want to elevate and prosper, and I make the mistakes and be a negative person because at the end of the day, we don't know how much time we got left on this earth. We on borrowed time, like I said, and I'm going to continue to say that. So appreciate what you got because you ain't going to have it forever.
Yeah, that's definitely, that's a fact. 24 hours to live, you know.
24 hours to live, baby. At the end of the day, you got to live every day like it's your last, man.
It's really important. That's some of the vacations or some of the I don't even like to call them vacations because
they're therapeutic. They're for your mental health.
They're 100%. I hate to call them vacations because they are for mental health. There are
drink this whole Hennessy.
Escapes. There are opportunities to grow as a person, to see different things, see different people, have different foods.
Just different opportunities and like see how everybody else's life is different from yours. Because it's so many different type of things and different type of people. And what I learned from being from a dark place and being to where I am now and where I'm headed now, where it was like, damn, I was so boxed in and I was so comfortable with just going home and watching my shows and watching, you know, binge eating and doing all these things and just not going. And I'm just like, damn, it's so much life out there. And then that's why when I see people going to, I want to fight, I want to do this, I want to argue, I want to do all that. And I'm like, bitch, all that shit ain't worth nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to lie. My biggest, my guilty pleasure is watching Ratchet TV. Shout outs to Nada TV and Zeus. And, you know, I feel like it's therapeutic for me because it's just like, when I watch it as a fan and as a supporter, I be like, damn, I want to hit these people like that too because they keep fucking with me. They keep on playing with me and put some respect on my name. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, that's their new way of getting a bag. That's their new way of getting exposure, getting followers, getting fame. And it's people like me who support it. And everybody keeps saying, Chrissy, you should be on this show. You should be on that. Nah, I don't want to lose my teeth. I don't want none of that. But you know what? I'm going to support it because at the end of the day, it's needed. It's needed in this individual because you don't ever know how therapeutic it is. Like, it's this one girl, and I'm going to give her a shout out because I love her unconditionally. And she literally has... When I was in my dark places and when I was angry and I had nothing in life that will make me smile and make me feel good and make me feel happy. Her name is Ivory. You know her from Nada TV. She is now on Baddies on Zeus Network. And this girl, she literally has this aura like, don't play with me, don't fuck with me. And ever since I started watching this girl on TV for every single show from South Central Baddies, Young and Reckless, to now Baddies, I was just watching this girl like, she don't take shit from nobody. And like, Chris, you are 2 times older than this bitch, and you literally need to put your foot down and know your fucking worth and say, bitch, don't fuck with me. Don't take advantage of me. Don't manipulate me. Don't play in my face. Don't snake me. Don't be fake to me. And she gave me the backbone that I needed to actually build up my confidence as a 30-something, pushing 40-year-old man, and this girl is in her early 20s. Help a grown-ass man like me know my worth and put my standards on a motherfucking line. And I gotta give them flowers while she could fucking smell them, because I'm just a fan. Watch you. I never met this girl a day in my motherfucking life, but I support stuff like that because something I saw in that person, like you looking at it like, damn, this person playing with me. This person is trying me. This person thinking I'm a punk. And I feel like a lot of people thought that of me for so many years, for being a known person on social media. And I just had to, like, you know what? I'm gonna put my foot down now. I'm not a fighter, but I'm not no punk. I'm gonna defend myself regardless, and I'm gonna put myself first.
That's valid. That's valid. I love. That's a great point. Definitely, giving flowers where you are motivated. That's therapeutic alone.
It is.
Like,
Amen.
when you're watching somebody else's, not necessarily struggles, just trials and tribulations. I don't like to call them struggles. Everybody's got their own shit going on. Yeah. And when you're able to go, man, how did they get through this? How did that happen? I think that's a great, it's just therapy, self-therapy, self-awareness. You build a lot from that. So with all that, Chrissy, what do you have? What's in store, man? Because I know this is a new version of you.
Oh, man. What's in store for me right now? I'm big on mental health. I'm big on, keeping my peace and keeping my circle small, and just, I feel like if I was to put it in a quote, I'm rolling with the punches at this given moment, meaning I'm going to just, whatever happens. I don't necessarily have a goal. I just have a goal to not be who I once was. And I have so much music already out, so I'm trying to do what I could with my own budget, with trying to, promote and endorse what I can with what I have. And I am also doing Albany Pride on June 13th. I'm headlining. I'm actually performing in Madison Theater. And it's actually a real theater, an old school theater, Black-owned business. And they paid me a very good amount. And, they're actually having me wanting to rap and perform my music. They're a fan of my music and how I can rap and how I deliver. So I'm going to be doing that event. I'm actually the headliner of the show. And I was supposed to be doing Queen's Pride, not going to get into that, but unfortunately that is not happening because I had a fallout with a person who plugged me into that. And, sometimes you have to stand on business, and you have to put your pride, your dignity to the forefront, and don't let nobody play with you. And don't ever settle for less, and always know your worth. So I have those events coming up, and I want people to see a different light of me when it comes to rapping, because that is my passion right now. That is something that I enjoy doing. And I feel like I make very catchy music. I know what the people want, and I'm going to deliver and give the people what they want. I may not have the status and the celebs to back me up at this given moment. Celebrities are not here to back me up and here to push me with following and everything. And that's the biggest inspiration that I have, is that I am pushing myself, and I'm pushing my pen, and I'm actually doing what's needed to be done with me and my music. And whether people catch on or people don't, just know that we are no longer being a clown. We are no longer being a joke. We are no longer settling for less. We are getting to that bag, and we are getting to that money, and we have a bigger goal. We have bigger obstacles that we need to achieve and overcome. And I'm going to continue to prosper. And whether you're going to catch on, you're going to catch on, baby. I'm enjoying myself right now. And I'm putting my mental health before anything. And like I said, it's me, it's music over everything. And I really hope that people eventually do go and listen and stream my music. And hopefully other people around the world will want to book Chrissy and want him to perform and just see a different light of me. And I feel like that's going to be more actually entertaining, because knowing where I came from the clickbait, the cloud chasing, the comedy, the jokes, and all the type of vulgar content, and to see it prosper into something positive, and to see something different and something meaningful, something worthy of a person, you know, sky's the limit. If this person can make it, that person can make it, bitch, you can make it. Do whatever you want and whatever makes you happy. And that's what I'm doing. And I feel like everybody else should do that. Whether you got a support system, bitch, be your biggest fan. Because I know I'm my biggest fan.
That support system. So definitely your vision, your hustle, your climb. Chrissy, I want to see more. I want to make sure that you.
Thank you. I appreciate
pushing.
that. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to this is my first podcast interview. And just since I did my surgery, which is now going on the 7th month, I've been very quiet. I've been very silent about the process, the struggles and everything. And I feel like with you, I can be very therapeutic, very organic, very vulnerable, very transparent with myself. And I feel like everybody should live like that. I know that this new woke generation makes you have to censor yourself and make you feel like you have to follow a certain kind of standard and a certain kind of criteria, but you don't. You have to literally own your truth, walk and live in it, embrace your reality, and don't ever look back. And don't let a comment, don't let a follower, don't let a hater, don't let anything that anybody has to say stop or dim your light, because bitch, you are the light. Don't let nothing block your blessing, because bitch, you are the blessing. And just keep on pushing, keep on striving, keep on, remain motivated, remain determined, remain inspired, and just know people are looking into you and they're pouring into you and they're finding that gain of confidence, that gain of self-love, that gain of positivity, because they feel like you're the voice of the voiceless. And I feel like that's what I am. And that's what I have a purpose of being. And whether you like me, whether you laugh at me, whether you judge me, whether you hate on me, at the end of the day, there's options that are available for you, and you can block, you can unfollow, and you can keep pushing. Because I'm not going to indulge in negativity. If you feel like you're going to come at me thinking you're going to get a moment, thinking you're going to get clout off of me, thinking you're going to get an argument, thinking you're going to get a debate, it's not up for debate. I'm choosing me over everything and anyone.
Facts.
Period.
Listen,
I hate that.
Protect your energy. We're going to leave with that.
Protect that space and that energy, baby.
Give me one sec. Where can they find you? I know you're plastered all over.
Y'all can find me. I actually dimmy down on social media like how I used to be. I used to be everywhere, but I don't have a lot of platforms. The only thing that I have that are currently active still to this day, I have DHK for Life is my Instagram. And I actually have a backup page, which I wanted to create my own podcast, but I'm working on it. I'm working on myself first, and I'm going to say it here first, what the name of it is, because I feel like nobody has this name. And if you try to take it, you're going to know that Chrissy had it first. And it's called Stop Waiting for Change. And I spelt it in waiting as for weights, as for lifting weights. So it's Stop Waiting for Change. And so many people can get something out of that name, because a lot of y'all want to wait for that change, wait for that moment. So it's like time is now and you have to act now. Don't think, act now. And I have this shirt that it says, tough times never last, but tough people do. And I want you to take that from that, Instagram name, which is my backup page, which is Stop Waiting for Change. That podcast will be coming soon. And I also have a TikTok, which I'm not as active as I used to be, because like I said, I'm in a different headspace, but I do content from here and there, and it's called Chrissy's Dance Floor. And like I said, stay tuned for what I got coming, man. I have a music video about to drop. I'm thinking about making on new music, but I have so much music in my vault and in my catalog, and I just need to promote it and do things. But like I said, budget wise, I keep it real. I'm not going to sit up here and fake a front or facade on social media to seek validation or approval from anybody. So if it comes, it comes. Just keep up with me. I'm most active on DHK for Life on Instagram. And that's it. Stay tuned, bitches.
Let's get it. Chris, I'm really happy.
Thank you for having me. Shout out to Hector, y'all. Watch the climb, y'all. You gotta watch the climb.
Watch the climb. Yeah. So this is watch the climb. Your vision, your hustle, your climb.
Amen to that.
And you already know. let's get
Shot
it.
before we leave, y'all. Shot before we leave. Shot o'clock.
Hold on.
He got to pour a shot. It's not gonna be right if we don't take a shot. I'm over here. I'm feeling a little nice. I was sober when I started this, but now I feel a little lit. But it's
Listen,
fine.
I'm not
It's fine.
much of a drinker, but since you one of the day ones,
One of the day ones. Shout outs to my day one Hector. Watch the climb.
there we go.
Got it. Watch the climb. Make sure y'all watch the climb, y'all. Be yourselves.
We got the music rolling. Let me see if I can do this. All of this is self.
All of this is
right here.
self. It's